Have you ever felt lost on your path, unsure whether you're making progress or walking in circles? Have you ever wondered why, despite your sincere efforts, your practice seems dry, your growth stagnant, your heart still restless? Welcome back to the channel. I'm honored to be walking this path with you today, because we're about to uncover one of the most important but least talked about truths on the spiritual journey. Who you meet determines how far you go. Yes, your sincerity matters. Yes, your effort matters. But according to generations of awakened masters, nothing matters more than meeting the right guide, the spiritual teacher, the Kayana MIT or taught noble friend. Because one moment with such a teacher can do more than a decade of reading. One word can shatter your delusions. One gaze can awaken your dormant heart. And one relation kept with a true teacher can change the entire course of your life. Let me tell you a story. One man, disillusioned by the emptiness of material life, wandered from temple to temple in search of teachings. He memorized scriptures, attended retreats, practiced austerities, but still, his heart felt dry, his mind wandered, his ego grew. He began to despair. Then, one day, he heard about a strange old monk who rarely spoke, lived in the mountains, and accepted no students. But something pulled him. After days of hiking, he reached the hermitage and offered prostration as the old monk looked at him, just looked and said, "The path is not in your books, it's in your tears." The young man broke down sobbing. Something shattered. Not knowledge, but identity. He had met his mirror. And in that moment, real practice began. That old monk became his teacher. Not because he gave him answers, but because he gave him a way of seeing. This is the power of the spiritual friend. Not someone who makes you feel special, but someone who makes you real. True teacher reflects your attachments, challenges your pride, cuts through your stories, and most of all, loves you enough to not flatter you. In Tibetan Buddhism, it is said, even if you have the highest potential, without a spiritual friend, you may wander endlessly in samsara. Because the ego is cunning. It turns even spiritual practice into self-aggrandizement. It whispers, "You're enlightened already." It pretends humility. It seeks approval. Only a true teacher embodied wisdom that can slice through that fog. They don't give you power. They show you where you left it. They don't become your crutch. They teach you to walk. They don't become your savior. They awaken your Buddha nature. Let's be clear. This isn't about guru worship. It's about recognizing the rare presence of someone who embodies what you long to become, and aligning with that frequency not blindly, but with discernment, respect, and openness. Because when the right teacher appears, your excuses crumble. You can't pretend anymore. Your spiritual bypassing is exposed. And that's terrifying. But it's also the beginning of real transformation. Let me share another story. A woman suffered from deep spiritual doubt. She had practiced for years, but felt no progress. She visited a respected nun and asked, "What should I do to feel more connected?" The nun looked at her kindly and said, "Let go of trying to feel connected. Be honest instead." That one sentence was her breakthrough. She realized her practice had become performance. She began to sit not for peace, but to feel, to cry, to confess, to be with her raw, unmet parts. And slowly, she bloomed. because the teacher gave her permission to be real. This is the true gift of a spiritual guide. They don't impress you. They undress you of delusions, pretensions, fears. And in their presence, you glimpse what's possible. But here's the thing. Not all teachers are real. Some are charismatic, but manipulative. Some are knowledgeable, but ego-driven. Some are well-meaning, but unawakened. So how do you know? Look for these signs. They speak simply, but their words pierce. They live humbly, but radiate strength. They don't demand devotion, but inspire it. They don't collect students, they nurture truth. They don't offer comfort, they offer clarity. Most of all, they awaken in you a deeper hunger for integrity, discipline, and love. It don't make you depend on them. It teach you to depend on the Dharma. True teachers never say, "Follow me." They say, "Follow the path, and I'll walk with you." But what if you haven't met your teacher yet? Don't worry. Keep practicing. Because as the saying goes, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. How do you become ready? By being honest. By praying sincerely. By cultivating humility. And by serving those around you as if they were all Buddhas, because perhaps they are. Your teacher may not wear robes. He may not even call themselves a teacher. They may be a stranger who says one sentence that awakens you, or a friend whose example inspires you, or a text that jumps off the page. The point is, stay open. And when that moment comes to when you feel seen, shaken, and strangely safe, pay attention. Because the meeting of student and teacher is not just a coincidence. It's karma ripening. It's grace meeting readiness. And if you honor it, it will take you further than your mind can imagine. So yes, your spiritual success depends on effort. But never forget it also depends on connection. The connection to a being who reflects your highest possibility. Thank you for watching this video. If you've met such a teacher, or if you're still searching, please share your journey in the comments. You never know who your story might touch. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and help us build a space where seekers meet teachers and truth finds a voice. Until next time, may you walk with courage, and may the right guide walk beside you when you're ready to fly.